Popularized by Nintendo in an online update to Super Mario Maker 2, Ninji Levels reignited excitement in players worldwide, specifically when it comes to speedrunners. Individual levels were created with unique gimmicks and multiple paths to the finish that players could grind to get a time on the leaderboard. Denson86, a Super Mario World Kaizo speedrunner from Germany, redesigned this idea for Super Mario World players in the best way possible. Every Thursday, Denson creates a new level live on his Twitch stream, and then releases it to his community as a challenge. Who can put down the fastest time before the week ends? The community flooded to this new Ninja experience, sparking friendly competition and unreal hype. I compete in these Ninja levels every week, streaming my attempts live on Twitch. Let's take a look at Ninja Season 1, Level 1. Right away, as soon as the level starts, the player is thrown into fast-paced platforming. A custom boost block gives Mario instant P-speed, allowing him to fly through sections at crazy pace. Denson introduces many custom mechanics like these Koopa shells that appear when you're holding the run button, and these gray platforms that first move down and then back up when you jump. The player has to then throw this shell before falling down onto the blue blocks, as the sprite killers above will despawn the shell. Another booster, some one-tile gap runs, and a few vertical boosters get us to the next section. Here, Denson uses a similar green boost block aligned vertically to launch the player into the air over the SMB3 nippers. By holding jump and run and nothing else, the player will soar over this gap and grab the next Koopa shell. You then need to kick this Koopa shell at the yellow turn block to open up the way to the next section. Staying true to Mario Maker 2 Ninja levels, Denson introduces two paths to move forward. The bottom path, while safer and easier, is ultimately slower, whereas the top path, although faster, requires the player to spin bounce on the saw to the right. Next, we have a couple on-off blocks that switch the platforms for Mario to land safely. The player then spin jumps off this spiny and hits the vertical booster to get to the mushroom. The mushroom is needed to break these turn blocks before a rude duck slide under another nipper. A couple quick jumps on these gray platforms, some more on-off blocks, and then the player launches off another boost block. Here we need to first bounce off a Rex, then bounce on the two naked Koopas to give the Rex time to move to the right, before bouncing off him again to make the gap. For the final section, using the boost block, the player has to duck under a set of nippers, run over a troll pipe, and duck slide under another nipper before making the jump over the gap. From here, you damage boost on the munchers, gain P-speed, and do a large jump over the gap before making the final jump into the boosters to send you to the goal. Oh yeah, be sure to avoid the troll boosters at the end. These ones send you flying backwards. So now that we've seen how to complete the level, let's take a look at some strats that the top speedrunners found to put up insanely fast times. Right at the beginning, by doing a quick left tap on the D-pad, you can slow yourself down just enough to bounce on the red Koopa and still make it over the nipper to get the shell. Here, we can make use of some iframes with the shell. By moving close to this turn block when we kick the shell will rebound and travel through Mario without killing him. This allows us to move quickly through to the next section. Yeah, these are just weird SMW things. Next, one thing Denson didn't think about when making this level was screen scrolling. In Super Mario World, by pressing L or R on the controller and nothing else, you can force the screen to scroll a few tiles left or right. This mechanic isn't really used in the original game, however Kaizo speedrunners abuse this for one reason: manipulating enemy spawns. During my live stream attempts on this level, we realized that with screen scrolling, we could manipulate both the saw and the Rex to spawn earlier, allowing us to save time in the level. The only thing we had to determine was where and when to scroll the screen. We noticed that we couldn't just screen scroll early in the level because when we got to this section, moving left caused the screen to reset back to normal. We did find that the optimal strategy was to scroll the screen here. Just after we dropped to this booster, by pressing only R on the controller, we were able to scroll the screen to the right a few tiles, setting us up for some spawn manipulation later in the level. Also, it's important to note that these Ninja levels use an in-game timer for the leaderboards. Interestingly enough, scrolling the screen actually pauses the in-game timer, so by the rules of the Ninja levels, we haven't lost any time. Denson was not too pleased when we found this strat. So now that we have spawned the saw early, the screen scroll we performed saves us time because the saw now moves to the right earlier than before. Now, the rest of the level is pretty much the same. However, you remember that screen scroll I haven't shut up about? Yeah, well, similarly to the saw, the Rex has now been spawned early as well. This saves us time again because he moves to the right earlier than before. We make a little adjustment on the naked Koopas that allow us to only bounce on him once, just missing the overhead nipper. The final piece of the puzzle was to keep P-Speed from this boost block for as long as possible. This was achieved by doing a duck jump over the pipe rather than standing up and running over it before another duck jump. The small jumps over the pipe allow us to keep that P-Speed from the booster for longer, thereby making us faster in the level. And just like that, we've saved about 5 seconds, a ton of time in a 35-second level. Here's the full speedrun of Ninji Season 1 Level 1 with all of the speed strats we incorporated. As I mentioned earlier, Denson creates these Ninji levels every Thursday on Twitch. Give him a follow and watch him create some magic. As soon as the levels are released, I get right into the action to start strat hunting and grinding for a top time. Be sure to join the fun in our Twitch stream and help us get to the top of the leaderboards. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more in-depth analysis on levels like this. Catch you in the next one.